Well, hello, everybody. Thank you for dropping in tonight. I know there's a lot of college football on, which I'm not the biggest college fan, but I was kind of surprised that there was so much on Sunday. Uh, we got a lot to talk about tonight. A lot has happened in 24 hours. I'm really excited to get into it with y'all here. I want to give everybody just a few more a few more minutes to get in here, and then we'll jump into it. I'll tell you what we can do while we're waiting for everybody to get in here. Let's go ahead and say hello to the channel members. I got a big announcement for the channel members. I've got a members only exclusive video that'll be coming out tomorrow. It looks like in the morning sometime. I don't know the exact time yet. On the members videos, I can't schedule. I might have to go in there and manually release them. But if you're a member, you'll receive a notification when it comes out. Robbie Ross, Ramon, Adam, Newman Attack, Racing Ray, Corey Oatley, Brad Stafford, RGB, Rog Ford, Davenport family, Fran Mariah, Demonica's, Larry June, Trucker D, Chris Hamilton, and Josh Escobar round out the 28 subscribers that we've got here. And so let's talk about what that members video is going to be. If you're not a member, this is a great time to join. Yesterday, I made a comment that Swift had plans of doing inward-facing cameras. Since that time, I had several people do the usual insults. I'm stupid. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm making stuff up for clicks, things like that. So I finally had a mouthful of it. And tomorrow, I'm going to share some proof with you. Now, I gave some hints in the video yesterday, and some of my smarter viewers caught it and some of them didn't. I've mentioned to y'all in the past that I get information from a lot of different companies, from a lot of higher ups. There's CEOs that talks to me. There's vice presidents. There's people at leadership positions at different companies that we don't talk daily. We don't talk weekly, but from time to time, they'll contact me and share information with me. Obviously, they share that information with me in confidence. They don't want me revealing. And so I had some people say, well, Todd, you don't know what you're talking about. You need to talk to real Swift drivers. What they don't realize, I'm talking to people that actually manage those Swift drivers. And so I found an article that I could release without revealing my sources at companies. And I'm going to read you that article. I pinned it in the comments of the video, and you members will be able to see that. Now, that article says all the company trucks. They have since modified that until to include the lease purchase that's on their insurance. That's why a lot of the YouTubers at Swift won't say it publicly, but why they're getting like Seabright Insurance or 10-4 Insurance or OIDA Insurance, things like that. So if you're a member, you'll be seeing that video tomorrow. Eventually, I'll release it to everybody, probably later in the week, but that's coming out tomorrow, and I'm really excited for y'all to see that video. Also, for everybody else, I've got a regular video coming out tomorrow. Today was just not a great day for filming. I was dealing with stuff all day, and the phone rang off the hook. And also, I got a ton of emails and stuff, but I did the best I could. And we'll go from there. But anyway, also the Cowboys, I only got to see about a little bit into the third quarter, and then I had to step away and deal with some stuff. And so I was real impressed with what I saw. I don't think the score really reflected what a blowout it was. The Cowboys just killed them. The defense still wasn't great, but it was better than it has been. Dak still looked amazing. And I think it's funny, too. This is part of that, see, I told you. The last few years, everybody's been saying they needed to trade Dak. Dak sucks, blah, 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 blah. Again, I'm stupid. I don't know what I'm talking about. And Dak leads the NFL right now in quarterbacks. The defense is last in the NFL, ironically. Hopefully today's performance brings them up a little bit, but with it clearly being a defensive problem at this point, I wonder how they'll figure out a way to blame Dak for that too. He's definitely one of the most mentally strong quarterbacks in the NFL, maybe players in the NFL. He's been ridiculed, criticized, harassed, and everything, and he's still able to perform at a really high level. So, yeah, I was pretty pleased with what I saw today. I was actually pleasantly surprised. Typically, when the Cowboys play a team that has struggled like the Jets have, they were 0-4. Now they're 0-5. The Cowboys have been known to underperform or underestimate their opponent, and I'm glad that they didn't do that today. And I've really been laughing a little bit because a lot of people keep underestimating me, and I keep winning over and over and over. And I don't know when they're going to learn. But I'm sure some of those haters will show up tonight, and we'll deal with them as they get here. All right, first in today was Robbie Ross, channel member and moderator. Hello, friends. Cowboys Nation rose up and stomped on the Jets today. Yes, sir. That would be an accurate description of what I saw. I may have to go back and watch that third quarter, though, because I don't know if they put in a lot of backups or why the Jets were able to get some points there, but I'll have to go back and watch. One thing I will say, though, you know, before we start talking about the Jets and how bad they are and all that, let's keep in mind that the Cowboys had 5 starters that weren't playing today. And so that makes a big difference. Roger Berry says, hey now. Hey, Roger Berry. Thank you for being here. Aaron says, what's up, driver? Not much, man. Glad you could make it in. And he says, how are you doing, sir? I'm doing great. How are you? Aaron says, wow, you sound like a very important guy. I would like to think that we're all important, at least to somebody. I don't know that I'm I've never claimed to be any more important than anybody else, but I've networked and made a lot of connections over the years. Mac T, hey Todd, how's it going? I think I might get close to 3,000 miles here at Swift. As a contractor, I'll be at 2,300 tomorrow. That's awesome. I always did really well at Swift, and you know, it's funny. People say, well, first of all, I got told I was stupid for going there. I'd never make money at Swift. It's to this day still the highest paying job I've ever had. They treated me very well, and I didn't have any complaints there. I left because I made so much money there that I was able to pay cash for my own truck from a viewer. And I wanted to go run the spot market. I recently did a video where I talked about all that. But Swift's a great company, and there's a lot of opportunity there. Like I said, they're planning on some changes now that'll be in my members only video tomorrow that I don't necessarily agree with. They're normally a deal breaker for me, but we'll see what happens. In that video, I include when they're rolling all this out and all of that. So I hope everybody gets a chance to check that video out. Mac T, I got 10-4 through Lone Mountain. Yeah, that's who I had with the last truck I had prior to coming to RE Garrison was 10-4. They treated me really well, and I was happy with them. But prior to that, when I was at Swift, I had OIDA, and they also treated me very well. I've never really had any conflict with insurance carriers, but 10-4 was definitely nice. Paul Ferguson says, "Hey, dude, Sep from Alabama. Good deal, man. Thank you for being here tonight. Good to have you." Aaron says, "Who are you talking about, that man, Rabbit?" Haven't talked to him in several months. Don't watch his stuff. I know that I'm in almost every one of his videos, and typically the way it works is somebody will send me a clip, and I'll watch what he said about me. I know he usually has his wife or himself that'll come in here and watch my videos and see if his name comes up. That's not an insult to him. I don't watch a lot of YouTubers regarding trucking really any right now. And the reason is I want my opinions and my thoughts to be mine. I don't want to be influenced by somebody else. And so I don't have any beef with anybody. I wish them all well. But in order to keep this channel authentic and real, I just kind of stay in my own lane. Paul Ferguson, again, "Hey, dude, from Alabama." Yes, sir. Good to have you. Mac T, "The Cowboys offense is really good. Playoff caliber. They should make a push for the playoffs and the division title." Yeah, I just don't want to get my hopes up yet because they break our heart every year. But I'm really encouraged by what I see in the offense. I got a feeling there's going to be some trades or something that's got to happen to get the defense up to par. Our kicker is amazing. If we can get, on that side of the field, he can make it from just about anywhere. He had a bad day today, missed an extra point. It wasn't his best day ever, but even on a subpar day, he's still better than most in the NFL. And most of the time, he's a given from 60 yards or more. And so it's really fun to watch him. It's really good to see Dak enjoy some success. It was nice to see that tight end. His name escapes me right now. Have a good game. He got a touchdown last week, and Dak told him there was many more of those coming, and I believe he got 2 that I know of today, maybe more. There was 2 that I saw. And so, yeah, that's kind of, like I said, I wish I could have watched the rest of the game. I had to take care of a situation at the house. It wasn't a bad situation. I don't want to mislead anybody, but it required me to be involved, and so it is what it is. Sometimes I don't really have a lot of free time. I stay pretty busy. I've had several people that are close to me say, "Hey, I really need to stop and smell the roses and enjoy life," but I just never seems like there's time for that. Aaron says, "Yep, that's true." CM Skunk, "Do you think the Cowboys are the best team ever?" No, I'll tell you why I watch the Cowboys. Ever since I was super, super little, I mean, probably 5 years old, 6 years old, my grandfather lived, let me think about this a second, about 2.5 or 3 blocks east of me. And I would walk to his house on Sundays, and we'd watch the Cowboys. And then after that, we'd play Atari and, just kind of hang out. I had cool grandparents. We'd go out to the farm and work together and do stuff like that. And so for me, I associated the Cowboys with hanging out with my grandpa, somebody that I really looked up to and admired and things like that. Then after he passed away, I started doing that with my dad. And even in the last few years of his life, we would text each other during the Cowboys game. His hearing was really bad, so we didn't talk on the phone a lot, but we would text each other during during the game, and that's that's kind of why I watch the Cowboys, why I'm a big fan, win, lose, or draw. And no, I could name several better teams. I think the biggest problem with the Cowboys is Jerry Jones. I've thought that. I'll continue to think that. Uh, but I don't, that the greatest team ever, if you ask me at the start of a season who's going to be in the Super Bowl, I'll ask you who's playing, because all it takes is just a few key injuries, and the best team on the first week of the NFL is not the best team by the time you get to the playoffs. So injuries play a big factor, things like that. When they did salary caps and everything, they really made it a lot more competitive. And so it's fun to watch. I love the NFL, though. I could sit down and watch any two teams play, and I'd be just as happy as a bug in a rug. Bobby says, greatest NFL team ever, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Prove me wrong. Pittsburgh Steelers, does anybody remember I'm sure you all do, the Iron Curtain, Terry Bradshaw, all of that. They've definitely had some teams over the year. Paul Ferguson, we live close to Coleman. If I was a truck driver and I lived close to Coleman, I would definitely be very tempted to work at RE Garrison, just because they have a lot of regional, they have a lot of dedicated. They've got something I probably wouldn't do, where they haul chicken guts and it stinks. You got to be real careful where you park at that terminal, or you'll smell a rank smell all night long. CM Skunk. I like that, by the way. It kind of sounds like CM Punk, the wrestler. Says, do you like your trucking career overall? Do you enjoy it? Or are you fed up with it already? I think it depends on what day of the week it is. Me and trucking have a love-hate relationship. Definitely over the past 28 years, I missed a lot of things that I would have liked to have been a part of. But at the same time, it opened up a lot of opportunities that I wouldn't have had it not been for trucking. So I would say it depends on the day of the week. Right now, I'm pretty happy, but if the truck breaks down for 2 weeks, I might not be so happy. But I mean, that's life. I've never had a job that I wasn't good at, and I'm not bragging, but I've never had a job where I was, totally content either. There was pros and cons of every job I've ever had. And I try to spend most of my time thinking about the good and not focusing on the bad. But best ever's tough, though. I don't know that I've ever had the best ever of anything. I've always tried to be content in what I did have. There's probably better companies out there than RE Garrison, especially with the diverse population of truck drivers we've had. Just because RE Garrison works for me doesn't mean it'll work for you. It might. It's something we can talk about, something we can look at. Just because I think a certain company is a bad company doesn't mean it is a bad company. It's just my opinion. We've all got opinions. And so I don't know that I've had the best ever. The best of anything ever. I've never had the best car. I've never had the best house, but I've always been content and grateful for what I did have. Paul Ferguson, I used to talk to Frozen Food Transport, and he disappeared. I only saw one or two of his videos. He was a different character for sure. I didn't know if he was still around or not. But he had a video where he got shut down in a DOT scale that kind of went viral, and there was some crazy stuff that was said and done. So I don't really know enough about him to comment other than to say that I hadn't heard much out of what he's doing now either, but I don't think I was ever subscribed to him or anything. He would just come up in my feed sometime, and I caught a couple of his videos. Mac T, Cowboys have the picks to get a big piece on defense at the trade deadline. Yeah, the problem is, though, like when they got rid of Micah Parsons, they got some draft picks, but it was from Green Bay, and Green Bay is going to go deep in the season, so they're going to be late round picks that'll really probably be the equivalent of carrying on to the next round. I want to say they were late second round picks, and so they'll be like early third round picks, or they were late first round picks, and they'll be like early second round picks. But the problem is, if you go for rookies, I think they need to trade and get some people now, because if you go for rookies, you know, there's an acclimation period of a couple of years. Usually some people hit the ground running, and you know, who knows if the offense will be as potent in a couple of years as they are right now. And I even heard some commenters making that same comment. CM Skunk, what kind of food do you eat in your truck? Soups? Just depends what I'm hungry for. I do have some soups and some canned food. It's my emergency food if I were to get stranded somewhere. I get those Atkins dinners a lot. They're pretty good. I do get some like fruits and vegetables sometimes. Sometimes sandwich meat. I just kind of go to Walmart and get what sounds good at the time. I'm on Monjaro, and that's been the reason I've lost over 90 pounds. But I definitely could lose more faster if I would eat healthier. It's, you know, I'm not really a drinker. I drink a couple times a year maybe, and I don't do any drugs. I don't smoke. And so my one bad habit is I probably don't eat as healthy as I should, but I think I eat healthier than a lot of people do. Mac T, Brandon Aubrey is the best kicker in the league easily, an X factor. Teams have to play a certain way because of his leg strength. Yeah, I would agree with that. He almost guarantees you 3 points on every possession. And, you know, that's what I'd say about that. Hey, TC Boggs is here. He says that must have been in the Danny White years. It was actually even prior to Danny White. I do remember Danny White coming up, and he was really good till he messed up his wrist, and he just never seemed the same after that. I was trying to remember who it was before Danny White. Vividly remember Danny White, but there was a quarterback that I saw the tail end of their career right before Danny White. Channel member moderator Robbie Ross, I hope all is good. We were bantering back and forth. Our skepticism turned as the game went on. I hope I can get a load to Charlotte and watch next week. Yeah, I guess me and Robbie Ross, we're kind of glass half empty people. We were kind of bad mouthing the Cowboys before the game, saying, oh man, I don't know, woe is me. And we started getting optimistic as the game went along. And TC Boggs says the undefeated Dolphins would argue that claim. Yeah, they still, I believe it was the 73 Dolphins that went undefeated. You could make some arguments that the NFL is a different game now than it was back then. For me, I think about the 85 Bears. I always thought they were, really, really tough. I think about Warren Moon never getting a Super Bowl, and he was a great quarterback. So it just seems unfair. Carry me, please, Uncle Hoax. How's everything in Lufkin? Howdy from Brazil, not Indiana. I haven't been to Lufkin in a long time. I think what you're meaning is Lubbock. I live in Lubbock, not Lufkin. And being from Brazil, it's no problem. But Texas is huge, and Lubbock is a long way from Lufkin. CM Skunk, what was your favorite TV sitcoms? I really like the Tim Allen stuff, Home Improvement, Last Man Standing. His new one doesn't really make me laugh. It's not that funny. But as far as sitcoms go, I don't watch a lot of them, but Home Improvement was probably my favorite one. Robbie Ross, channel member moderator, 25 watching, only 8 thumbs up. Come on, y'all. Yeah, if you wouldn't mind, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. That really helps the channel analytics. And, I didn't know what kind of crowd we were going to get today. I figure a lot of people will be in the replay gang. Carry me, please, Uncle Hoax. I saw a video today where the person said they left 2 Cowboys tickets on their front seat, and somebody broke the window and threw another 4 tickets on the seat. The Cowboys are kind of like Donald Trump. Everybody has an opinion about them. You either love them or you hate them, and I get it, man. I do. My biggest problem with the Cowboys, though, is Jerry Jones, without a doubt. TC Boggs says 90 pounds is a great accomplishment. Yeah, but it's nothing compared to what you've done. I seen a video of you the other day, and you don't even look like the same person I met. It's jaw-dropping how much weight you've lost. And, I mean, you're doing everything I should be doing. You're exercising, you're eating healthy, and it really shows. It's amazing how well you've done on your weight loss journey. But I started out at 312 pounds, and right now I am at about 220. So that's where I'm at. I gained a little weight at the RE Garrison orientation. They had food everywhere, and junk food and regular food, and I ate a lot more than I should have. But I'm glad to be. Sounds bad to say. I'm glad to be away from there so I can get back to losing weight. This Monjaro has been life changing. I was on Ozempic, and my friend Chris in Arkansas said, "Man, I lost a lot on Monjaro." And for a long time, my doctor wouldn't switch me because he said, if what you're taking, if the Ozempic's working, the insurance don't want to change. But I finally kind of hit a plateau, and I wasn't losing weight no more. And he said, well, now I think we can talk to him about it. And we got insurance to approve it. And, man, I've enjoyed Monjaro too. Channel member moderator Robbie Ross. I heard that in Carolina Carry Me radio. Call it was first prize was a ticket to the game. Second prize was 2 tickets to the game. Oh, that's funny. No, Meredith was TC Boggs is asking if it was Don Meredith. No, it was Don Meredith is way before my time. I was born in 72. Let me look real quick. I can probably figure it out for y'all real quick. Hey Siri, who was the Dallas Cowboys quarterback prior to Danny White? Yeah, there we go. Gary Hogaboom. No, that ain't it. Gary Hogaboom was in the 80s. That ain't right. Well, maybe it is. Wait. Hey Siri, who was the Dallas Cowboys quarterback before Danny White? It keeps wanting to say Gary Hogaboom, but that doesn't seem right. And we got Uncle Hoax again. I put on 50 pounds when I started driving and not even eating that unhealthy. My first 3 weeks off, I've lost 10 pounds, 40 more to go. Man, that's awesome. People that have never been overweight don't understand. It's easy to pack the weight on, but it takes time to get it off, and it's a lot of work. So, my hat's off, and I got respect for anybody that's able to lose weight. CM Skunk, do you remember where you were and what you were doing during 9/11? Yes, sir. I was in Lubbock, Texas. I had a local driving job, and that particular day they didn't have me driving. I was doing like what I'd call grunt work. And I remember it well. Uncle Hoax, I always confuse those two, Lubbock and Lufkin. I've been on both, or I've been to both, but I had to drive to Lubbock. Yeah. I hadn't been there in I guess about a week or so. I'll probably stay out another week or so and then run by there for a couple of days. Uncle Hoax says, I'm from the U.S. I came to Brazil for surgery and to be with family. Well, that's cool. When are you coming back? Uncle Hoax says 90 pounds is amazing. More than that is even more amazing. Yeah, go over and watch his videos, and it's TC Boggs. Go check out his videos. Go find like an old one from a couple of years ago and then look at a new one. It doesn't even look like the same guy. It doesn't even look like a brother of the same guy. And I'm sure I'm going to get razzed on YouTube, but it's by a bunch of skinny people that doesn't realize how much work is involved. And I don't care if he's taking Ozempic or Mounjaro, or if he did it through surgery, or if it was pure diet and exercise. It's still a big accomplishment, and it's impressive to say the least. HD Eagle, hello, Mr. Todd. Hope everything and everyone's doing well. I was able to catch a live. Yes, sir. Good to have you here. And Uncle Hoax is laughing. Uncle Hoax says, dang, you're only 5 years older than me. Well, yes and no. In 2023, March of 2023, I had 15 mini strokes in one day. And I've done a lot in my life. I've kind of lived a lot of lives all at once. So it's like Dean Martin said, you only live once, but if you live like I have, once is enough. Channel member moderator Robbie Ross, Staubach was. Yeah, that sounds more right. I wanted to say Staubach, but I thought he was done before I was watching. If anything, I caught the last season of Staubach. Gary Hogaboom seems after Danny White. And so I think it was Staubach, and then it was Danny White, and then it was Gary Hogaboom. But I may be wrong. Shoot, folks, that was 40-something years ago. That was over 4 decades ago. Uncle Hoax says, that's nothing. And Robbie Ross, channel member and moderator. Danny White was the punter in the later stages of his career. Yeah, my memory from back then is so bad. TC Boggs says, I appreciate that, Todd. I had to get a surgery to get my health back. One of my better decisions. I've had some family members, and this is going to be another compliment to TC Boggs. I've had some family members that had the surgery, and after the surgery, there's a lot of self-discipline that you have to have for the surgery to work. And unfortunately, a lot of the family members that I had did not follow the procedures and ended up gaining all the weight back and then some. So it says a lot about TC Boggs that he was able to do it post surgery. Like I said, he frequently does walks where he'll video while he's walking, show you where he's at. He'll usually talk politics or whatever's on his mind. But the healthy eating, the smaller portions, the surgery in and of itself is a quick fix. It'll help you lose weight initially, but there's a lot of work that you have to do behind the scenes. And a lot of people, quite frankly, don't do it. And so the fact that he was able to lose the weight and looks, dramatically different. You guys won't believe it. I wish I had before and after pictures. I'd put them up and show you. It says that he has a lot of self-discipline, control, and that the surgery was definitely a good move for him. I'm sure he's healthier. And Uncle Hoax is asking if he had the stomach surgery. Yes, that's what he said he had. It is hard. Yeah, Uncle Hoax said it is hard. It definitely is. Uncle Hoax, you're quite a soldier. No, I took the easy way out. I took the medication. I'm allergic to needles and pain, so I try to avoid surgeries and shots as much as I can. And TC Boggs says, yep, he had the Sadie 5 surgery or Sadie S surgery. I'm not that up on it. Uncle Hoax says, yep, I already subbed to TC Boggs. You'll like it. I've made it public on here. My favorite videos he does is the political ones. About 85-90% of the time I agree with him. But even when I don't agree with him, he doesn't say anything that's so crazy. I go, man, I don't know why he thinks that way. So it's good to hear what he has to say, and I enjoyed it. I don't get to listen as much as I'd like to, but I try to catch his videos when I can. And TC Boggs telling Mr. Hoax, nice, look forward to seeing you. Uncle Hoax says, I meant soldier for surviving all those strokes. Well, that was a weird story too. I was in the right place at the right time. For those that don't know, my oldest son is a mechanic. He has his own shop. And I had my truck at his shop. He wasn't there. And I was laying under my truck. I had a small leak on my oil pan. I was patching my oil pan. And he pulled up. And so I got out to say hi to him. I hadn't seen him in a while. And my arm was kind of numb. My right arm was numb. And I thought, well, I probably just laid on my arm wrong under the truck. And he told me, hey, you don't sound good. You probably need to come inside and sit down. He thought maybe something was going on. He got me a bottle of water, and I sat there for a minute. And he said, man, I think you ought to go to the hospital. Nah, I'm fine. So me being stubborn as I am, we argued about it for a few minutes. And I finally said, fine, I'll drive myself to the hospital. He's like, oh, no, you're not driving yourself to the hospital. So he drove me to the hospital. When I got there, I had strength in both my arms. Everything was fine. And they thought I was just dehydrated. And so they gave me an IV, a couple of bags of fluid, and they started noticing stuff. And so they did a brain scan, and it had these little red flashes, and they said every red flash was a stroke. And so they wanted to send me to Lubbock. I was in a small town where my son lives, and they wanted to send me to Lubbock, and Lubbock said they were full and couldn't get to me. They were going to send the helicopter, and evidently it was going to take a while to get the helicopter there. So they ended up taking me in an ambulance to Midland or Odessa. The towns are basically the same town. And I spent 5 days down there. Even now, I have a loop recorder in my chest that records heart activity. I've got a little fob with a button on it. If I think something's going, I can hit that button and it'll record activities, kind of like your dash cam does on your truck. And, I've been fine. DOT recommends that you don't drive for a year after you have a stroke, but you're technically able to after 6 months. So after 6 months, I was able to get approved by my neurologist, by my cardiologist, and by my personal doctor to return. And so that's what I did. All right, we got to jump to this real quick. Got a super chat here from my good friend and a channel member and a moderator as well. He wears lots of hats. Feeling good today. Done pretty good this weekend. Just being a good supporter. Yes, sir. You're awesome. I appreciate that. And Uncle Hoax says that's wild. Yeah, it was pretty wild. I'm gonna put that back up for a second since we don't have any comments coming in. Give everybody a chance to comment. We're down to 10, so this may be a short one. Want to remind everybody, please give me a thumbs up, share this video on your social media platforms, and make sure you're subscribed. After you do it, click that bell and select all so that you receive notifications when future videos come out. All of those things are free to do, and they really help the channel. All right, I'm going to give y'all just a few more minutes. I know some of you are slow typers, but if we don't get anything else, I'm going to wrap it up. I do got to do a little bit of driving tonight. I gave some bad information last night. I said that I was 30 miles away from where I deliver tomorrow. It's actually a little more than that, so I'm going to go ahead and drive that out tonight. The place I deliver in the morning has overnight parking, so I'll just go there and spend the night. And then after that, I'm heading to Arkansas. Eat a chip real quick with some salsa. Oh, crap. I don't know what it is. Every time I wear one of these RE Garrison shirts, I spill something on myself. It's like they're a magnet for food. The only time I ever spill something on myself is when I'm wearing one of their shirts. Robbie Ross, channel member, moderator. NFL and NASCAR is still going on. Light viewing. Yeah, those are two tough acts to compete with. But I'm sure we'll get them all on the replay. I'll have to look for you real quick. Uncle Hoax wants to know whereabouts in Arkansas. I can look for you real quick. One thing I do is I look at one leg at a time on a trip. I don't look ahead because I'll get stuff confused. I just try to keep it simple on myself. Going to Siloam Springs, Arkansas is where I'm headed to. Getting my drink from up here. I'll be right back. Got that case of water up here, and I'm digging me out of water. All righty, let's see where we're at in the comments. Ted says, good job on the podcast, driver. Keep up the good work that you do. Well, thank you. I actually don't have a podcast yet, but I'm working on it. Several people have asked for one that they can listen to while they're driving and not have the video playing. And man, it's just so hard to produce content that I don't know if I'll have new podcasts out there, or if I'll just convert these videos that I do, these live streams, into podcasts. But I am working on that right now. I really don't know a lot about podcasts, and I'm trying to educate myself. Yeah, Uncle Hoax, you got to stay away from the RE Garrison shirts. Yeah, I don't know what it is. Every single one of them I'm spilling food on. I can put on a regular t-shirt and I don't spill anything on it, but second I put on an RE Garrison shirt, food's all over it. And that's why I'm wearing these camouflage shirts a lot. It hides the stains a lot better. Channel member moderator Robbie Ross, I'm looking forward to the Stevie Nicks concert on Tuesday night. Yeah, that should be pretty good. Kevin Snipes says, good evening, Todd, listening while driving. Well, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. That's what I'm going to do when this ends. I'm going to get on the road. I got several of you that are waiting for me to call you back, and I'm going to try to get that knocked out too. Uncle Hoax, that's right on the border. I've never been there. It's probably been a while since I've been there. Like I said, I do one leg at a time, so I haven't really done the trip planning on that yet. I'll focus on delivering this one in the morning, then I'll focus on going to pick up the next one, which is like 15 miles away, and then I'll focus on Siloam Springs. HD Eagle, I'm in Laredo waiting for my next load. I hope they get me rolling soon. Been here 22 hours. Who do you drive for, HD Eagle? I got this water and I hadn't drank it yet. Today I'm eating some leftover chips and salsa that I was eating during the game. Uncle Hoax, well, I enjoyed it. Thank you, Todd. I've been following you since 2023. Wow, I appreciate that. I don't know that I've seen you commenting here before unless you were commenting under a different name. He also says, or maybe 2022. Wow, that is a long time. That'd be back in probably the Swift days, wouldn't it? Uncle Hoax says, safe travels to everybody. Yeah, I think we're getting ready to close this one out. I sure appreciate everybody being here tonight. We're probably experiencing a little fatigue here. We went almost 3 hours last night. But we're going to do a couple things to irritate the trolls. I'm going to play the This Is Why I Do This montage at the end. And I'm going to say, y'all have a good night. We'll catch y'all on the next video. Y'all take care. Don't forget, members, we got a special one coming out for y'all tomorrow, and then a regular news video coming out in the morning. So y'all be looking for those. We'll see you later. Y'all take care. Bye-bye.
And this is why I do this, why I'm out here, why I keep that hammer down. Flying by these road signs with home on my mind. With these wheels turning round for my family and for my kids. For this life I wanna